Like this cup might be in somebody else's hand this morning, but now I'm using it, and maybe in a couple of hours somebody else might be using it.
That's really deep for me. Like that's a little too. Like yeah. Maybe I'm not philosophical.
No. It's
You have to be a philosopher for this one.
Life lessons. Now, the lessons that growing up, maybe your parents said, there's certain, like the early bird catches the worm, but your parents always tell you got to get up early in the morning, go to sleep early in the evening. There's certain things your parents tell you, but have any of them really stuck?
No.
Or has there been an experience? And maybe I find more often than not, your parents would say things and you're like, no, that's bullshit. And then 10 or 15 years later, you'd experience, and then you're like, actually, they were pretty right with that one.
It's quite different in India, because India has a lot of philosophical background, and we have a lot of Sanskrit and stuff like that. I remember when I was a kid, my parents, they put a little poster in my room, and it says you're born with empty hand. What you possess right now, somebody else had in the past, and somebody else will have it in the future. You haven't created anything. You haven't destroyed anything. Change is the constant of life. So don't try to. That's been in Korean. We call it kongsure kongsugo. So I always use it like you're always born with empty hand, and you're gonna go back with empty hand. So whatever you get in your process of life, is just a process of it. So it's always been stuck with me. Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's kind of like. You don't need to buy expensive cars and watches and.
Well, no, that's not what he means.
I mean, like you can buy, but you don't have to be like very.
Everything is. Everything. Nothing you have has been created by you yourself. So essentially, you enter this world with empty hands, and everything's changing around you, and you're just there while everything is changing pretty much as well.
And to summarize it in a few terse words,
like
life's a bitch and then you die.
This cup might be...
so that's the Indian version of what Dave said. Life's a bitch and then you die. Wow.
Nas over here.
For like this cup might be in somebody else's hand this morning, but now I'm using it, and maybe in a couple of hours somebody else might be using it.
That's really deep for me. Like that's a little too... Like maybe I'm not philosophical.
No. It's
You have to be a philosopher for this one.
I don't feel anything.
In Sanskrit,
I'm dead inside.
In Sanskrit, we call it Gita Sar. Gita is a holy book in Hinduism, and it's one verse from it, which most of the Indians might be knowing it. So I just wanted to share with you guys.
That's cool, man.
That's cool.
That's really cool. That's it can be a little bit dark in its own way.
Yeah, it's just like
you're not really affecting anything.
If you gain something or you achieve something, you shouldn't be too much blah blah about it. And if you lose something, you shouldn't be too sad about it. I also like other ones.
It also I guess it depends on how you look at it, but it also could kind of say in the big picture you're not really much of anything.
Yeah.
There's two ways to look at it, and like Dave said, it can get dark, and it kind of says, you know what. You don't mean anything in the big picture. You're just traveling around this world.
But if you look like a country like India with a population of 1.3 billion people, there are so many people who don't have those material happiness in their life, but they still find maybe a mental strength to still live a life because you have other things. You have your friends, your family, and other things to be happy about. So yeah. It kind of makes sense in a country like India because
for that context.
Yeah. That kind of takes me in a different direction from life's a bitch and then you die to the best things in life are free.
Yeah.
It's kind of if you look at the positive side of it, the best and like that's so true. Like you can't buy love and you probably could buy affection, but that is all free. Friendship. Those are things that you can't put a monetary value on them.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed the clip. If you did, listen to the full episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
And make sure to subscribe to this channel, Dive Studios, and put those notifications on. Hit that bell. Whoop, whoop, whoop.